So, Kevin Conroy, he is the voice of Batman since the uh, 1992 premiere for Batman the Animated Series. He doesn't always do the voice of Batman, and the animated versions have kind of done some different voices here and there. To me, he kind of is as definitive of a Batman as Mark Hamill is for the Joker. And Mark Hamill, of course, voiced the Joker on the animated series and Justice League Unlimited and all that stuff. So, recently, Kevin Conroy was interviewed for a couple of things, and one of the things he was asked about was Batman versus Superman. And here's just Conroy in his own words. In the most recent live-action movie, that seems to have been a line that was crossed, and it's not one I'm particularly comfortable with. And this is basically he was asked about what he thought about Batman pretty much killing criminals in the movie. That just kind of happens and it's never addressed. And I've not seen the movie still. I might watch it if it gets put on Netflix or if someone brings over a DVD or whatever. I don't think I'll actively avoid it, but I'm certainly not going to pay money to see it.
Yeah.
I have seen the scene where some of the scenes with Batman like beating up criminals and stuff, and it's choreographed very well. It's actually a step up from The Dark Knight even, but I think that's all they've improved on based on what I've heard. And the fact that he actually goes through the street and has machine guns mounted on the Batmobile. No. And what's so strange, just the last film rendition of Batman, what was the one rule that he wouldn't break? It was killing people. That was the whole thing that made like his interaction with Joker, played by Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, so tense. Was the Joker was just like continuously baiting him and trying to get him to compromise his code that he fought crime by. Here we don't even have the Joker, and he's just blowing people away. It's like, how do you get away with that? So I agree with Kevin Conroy. I don't think that, and you can make the ridiculous argument that, well, Batman used to use a gun. He's killed people before, like in the 40s. He hasn't. There came a point where the writers were decided, okay, we're not going to have him use a gun anymore. We're not going to have him kill people. We're going to have him manage his crime fighting by a very strict code, and we're not going to break that. And they've done a lot of interesting things, like with the Dark Knight movie. But here's some more about what Kevin Conroy was saying about it. Personally, I love the fact that Batman, in the stories I've done, and the way he's been rendered by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, those are both head writers on the animated series, the people I've worked with most closely, he never kills anybody. He doesn't cross that line. Batman is not a killer. So, it's sad that I don't understand why Warner Brothers went that direction with the movie. I don't know if it was Zack Snyder that decided it, but it's just kind of strange that it's not. I can even understand, like, okay, this one time, like, Batman kills one person that he felt like he had to break his rule to save someone. I think there's room for that. I think there could be like an interesting storyline written around that, but having him just willy-nilly killing people, no reason for it, he's just really, really angry. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, as a fan of the Justice League cartoon, what do you think of the fact that DC and Warner Brothers went this direction with the character?
I think it kind of a lot of people who have grown up watching those cartoons and feel like I don't want to say comics for certain just because I'm not very sure. I feel like most comics uh, in the past like 15 years have kind of uh, they haven't really made Batman a killer, and I'm sure that there's some like alternate universes where he does like kill. Um, but I feel like one of the strongest traits that Batman has is the fact that like he won't kill anyone, like he refuses to kill anyone because he just doesn't see it as he doesn't see killing as a way of justice.
Right.
He feels like that he as a hero or a vigilante, he has the right to hunt these people down who do wrong and capture them. But as far as punishing them goes, it doesn't belong to him. It belongs to
The law.
the law, which he's done in every cartoon that I've ever seen of him, from the 1990s all the way up to I think the last Batman animated series I watched was like 2011, maybe 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But he's never killed anyone, and I think there was one movie where it started out like him and the Joker were fighting, and then the Joker had revealed that like he had like a shot glove or something, and he like shocked Batman, and then they both fell off, and they were fighting on like a dam, and then they get down, and like the Joker's about to fall off, and like Batman grabs a hold of him, and the Joker's just like, and he grabs him, and he's like, "Give me your other hand," because like he doesn't want people to die. He just wants them to be brought to justice, and the same goes for the Joker. No matter how many people he kills, he still doesn't. He doesn't want him to die. He just wants him to face his justice. Or yeah. Um, and so he goes to help him, and then like the Joker like shocks him, and then Batman lets go of him, and then the Joker pretty much shocks himself to death.
Mm-hmm.
And for like a little bit into the movie, it kind of like messed him up a little bit just because it's like this person that I've been like hunting down for a really long time is now just gone.
Because of me,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, and it messed him up, and that made it really cool because not only was the superhero guy just like he fought crime, he beat people up, and it was really cool. But then like you saw that even though he does beat these people up, uh, in any manner, he doesn't kill them, and when they do die, he's sad that they've died.
Yeah. And the other thing is like, so who's like the one criminal? Joker. He's the only one he's ever been like really tempted to just kill because he's the most dangerous criminal out of his whole rogues gallery, and he's the one who's actually managed to kill people that he cares about. So Joker is alive and well in the DC cinematic universe, current cinematic universe for DC. So it doesn't make sense for him to have no regard for the lives of, just run-of-the-mill thugs. He just blows them away without any limitation. But Joker's running around free? Well, how does that make any sense? Like, he's killing people he doesn't care about, or that he they're thugs. They're expendable. You break their kneecaps or whatever, and they're done, which he's able to do without any issues. But someone like, Joker or Two-Face or any of these villains that they offer a major threat, well, why are they still alive? What's the point of Arkham Asylum if he doesn't have any qualms about killing? The reason why he has that rule in place is because it kind of breaks the character if you remove that rule. And I think it's one of the many reasons why DC's not going to be successful with this rendition of their characters. And the thing is like he's killed now. What do you get? And he's an older Bruce Wayne. What are you gonna? So did he not have a problem with killing before, but or he had a problem with killing before, but now he doesn't? And then what do you do with that Bruce Wayne? Does he have any more room to grow? Is he going to come back later and say like, "Oh, I regret doing this"? I don't think so.
I
But
think
yeah,
the only time that I think that I know of that Batman has ever killed anyone on purpose, and for anyone watching, I could completely get this wrong. I only know half of it. I know that in one uh, universe, the Joker like ends up capturing Robin in a warehouse and ends up beating him to death. And I can't remember if it was Batman or it may have been Batgirl even. I think they find him after they found Robin's body uh, brutally beaten to death. I'm pretty sure one of them hunts him down and kills him. I think it's Batman, just because.
who the
Uh,
Joker?
yeah,
I see they recently did an animated movie under the Red Hood that covers that storyline. And he doesn't kill the Joker. Joker actually has like a big part to play in that. But he doesn't get he even then he doesn't kill him. But I don't think he gets killed in the comic storyline either. But um, he just the only instances I can think of where he directly kills someone are in those really old 1939 to like 19 early 1940s stories where he actually used a gun on people and dropped people off buildings all the time and didn't care that they died from it. But you know, I'm with Kevin Conroy on this one. I think that if you remove that rule of Batman, it dramatically changes the character and kind of breaks him.